Hello and welcome to Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. I'm Daniel Pineda. We have a great program this week. We have our news stories, community bulletin board, and 55 plus news. But first, a social media reminder. You can watch the Arlington Weekly News on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News and the number 1. Also on Facebook and WERA 96.7 FM. And now on to our first news story for this week. The Virginia Department of Health page provided the following data. For the Arlington District, as of November 29, 2022, reported cases over all time, 60,598. This is 171 more all-time reported cases than last week's total of 60,427. As for vaccinations, the VDH site shows that 206,019 people over the age of 5 have received at least one dose of the COVID vaccine as of November 29th. That is an increase of 27 over the previous week's 205,992 vaccinations. Based on this data, more people are getting sick than are getting vaccinated. For the time being, walk-in vaccinations for 5 through 11-year-olds are still available Tuesday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Sequoia Plaza. That's located at 2100 Washington Boulevard. For more information, consult the Arlington County website or call 703-228-7999. Here's a vaccination reminder. The Arlington County Public Health Division's COVID-19 vaccination clinic, originally opened nearly 2 years ago, will permanently close in December 2022. The final day of operations for the clinic at Sequoia Plaza, located at 2100 Washington Boulevard, will be Saturday, December 17th, 2022. Visit vaccines.gov for appointments through pharmacies and other medical providers in and around Arlington County. Also, all county curative COVID-19 testing kiosks close on November 30th, except for the Arlington Mill Community Center location. The Arlington Mill Community Center location will close on December 24th, 2022. You can find testing locations convenient to you by visiting VDH's test site locator. Get tested if you have symptoms of COVID-19 before large gatherings and after spending time in a crowd. Learn more about the county's COVID-19 response at arlingtonva.us/COVID-19. Arlington Public Schools Superintendent Francisco Duran is proposing an earlier start to school next fall and more instructional days than the current academic year. The proposal calls for the 2023-24 calendar having 180 instructional days for all students and starting on August 21st, 2023. This year, elementary and high school students have 175 instructional days and middle schoolers have 174, which is several days fewer than the state standard of 180 days and APS calendars before the COVID pandemic. The proposal comes after reviewing more than 7,100 responses from families to the APS survey. The survey was intended to gauge approval of the current calendar while asking for input on 3 possible calendars for next year. Some respondents urged APS to change its calendar to match neighboring jurisdictions, while others suggested reducing the number of cultural and religious holidays. Duran's proposal has the same start date for students as the proposed or approved calendars for many neighboring jurisdictions. The school board will vote on Duran's proposed 2023-24 calendar on Thursday, December 15th. A number of options are being considered for upgrading a problematic portion of the Arlington Boulevard Trail. Engineers have stated that it would be possible to accommodate a trail up to 11 feet wide with buffers and guardrails between the bridge to Thomas Jefferson Middle School and George Mason Drive. It would involve narrowing a few on and off ramps, closing slip lanes, and reducing the number of through lanes and turn lanes in some places. This summer, Arlington County asked trail users how they feel when navigating the 1.3-mile stretch of the trail, which runs along the 6-lane Route 50. Many respondents said they felt unsafe due to bicycle, pedestrian, and vehicle conflicts and the lack of buffer between the trail and vehicle travel lanes. Several previous plans have recommended improvements to the Virginia Department of Transportation-owned trail, which runs east-west from D.C. through Arlington to Fairfax County and bisects a 16-mile bike loop that surrounds the county. The 1.3-mile section was broken into 7 segments along Route 50, 4 on the north side and 3 on the south side.
Here is a reminder about Arlington County's leaf collection schedule. The remaining second pass schedule for runs in December is as follows. From December 10th to 14th, Ashton Heights, Barcroft, Bluemont, Cherrydale, Cherry Valley Nature Area, Lyon Park, Lyon Village, Stafford Albemarle Glebe, Terra Leeway Heights. From December 14th to 17th, Arlington East Falls Church, Arlington Forest, Arlington Heights, Arlington Ridge, Arlingwood, Buckingham, Chain Bridge, Columbia Forest, Dover Crystal, Rivercrest, Riverwood, and Yorktown. For December 17th through 21st, Bellevue Forest, Donaldson Run, Gulf Branch Country Club Hills, Maywood, Old Glebe, Rock Springs, Williamsburg, and Woodmont. A reminder, only report a missed route after it has been labeled as completed on the progress map. Then call 703-228-5000. And remember, unscheduled leaf vacuum trucks at times may conduct cleanup in neighborhoods between passes. Next up, this may seem a little bit early for some, but for those who are interested, Christmas tree collection will begin on January 2nd and run through January 13th, 2023. Discarded trees should be placed at the curb no later than 6 o'clock in the morning on regular trash collection days. All decorations, nails, and stands must be removed, and the trees should not be placed in plastic bags. We regret any anxiety this announcement causes for those who have planned but not yet even obtained a Christmas tree. That's enough news for this week. Now it's time for Community Bulletin Board, or CBB.
Hi, and welcome to CBB. Our first CBB event is called Tiny Tot Shapes and Symmetry. This is for very young children aged 18 to 35 months, with an adult, of course. Tiny Tot programs provide opportunities to interact one-on-one with your child while discovering the wonders of nature. Each program will engage your child with hands-on learning and may include a variety of activities like songs, crafts, finger plays, and mini hikes. Tiny Tot programs are offered throughout the year at Gulf and Long Branch Nature Centers. Each program has a theme, not published ahead of time, for flexibility, incorporating changeable aspects of the park and its wildlife into the programs. Themes repeat, so please register for only one program at each center per month. Of course, caretakers must stay with their child during the program, and registration is required. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. For more information, call Barbara Farley at 703-228-6535. That's on Wednesday, December 14th from 10:30 to 11:15 a.m. at Long Branch Nature Center, 625 South Carlin Springs Road. Our next CBB event is called Turtle Afternoons. Join in for a photo presentation and talk, followed by a live turtle meet and greet. You will learn all about a year in the life of a box turtle. Registration is required. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. For more information, call Leanna Pletcher at 703-228-6535. That's on Thursday, December 15th from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. at Long Branch Nature Center, 625 South Carlin Springs Road. Here's a reminder about an ongoing event. In the spring of 2017, Anne Rowland documented Arlington's waterfront, beginning with the county line at Chain Bridge and proceeding all the way to 4 Mile Run. Rowland's photographs capture the diversity of Arlington's Potomac River waterfront from bucolic forests to urban parks. The boundary defined by the Potomac is part of Arlington's network of public spaces and a future potential focus area for public art. View North from Chain Bridge was acquired by Arlington Public Art's Portable Works Collection and can be viewed in the County Boardroom at the Bosman Government Center, 2100 Clarendon Boulevard. This exhibition will be presented on a large outdoor screen in a breezeway at Mason Exhibitions Arlington and will be available to view 24 hours a day. The event runs through Wednesday, January 11th, 24 hours a day at Mason Exhibitions Arlington, 3601 Fairfax Drive. Our next event is for families. It's called Wild Virginia Winter Survivors. Get ready to go wild. Each program will focus on specific groups of wildlife who live right here in Virginia. How do animals survive in the cold and find food? You'll learn all about local animals that somehow brave the cold. Registration is required. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. For more information, call Barbara Farley at 703-228-6535. That's on Wednesday, December 14th from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. This is a virtual event. Our next CBB event is for families. It's called Flying Squirrel Lore. Flying squirrels are found throughout the wooded neighborhoods of Arlington, but are seldom seen. Join in to learn about these nocturnal rodents in the classroom and then see wild flying squirrels outdoors. Be sure to dress for the weather because it can get very cold. Registration is required. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. For more information, call Barbara Farley at 703-228-6535. And that's on Friday, December 16th, yes, Beethoven's birthday, from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock p.m. at Long Branch Nature Center, 625 South Carlin Springs Road. Our final CBB event is for families. It's called Warm Lights Winter Festival. The whole family is invited to join in during the darkest time of the year to celebrate the light and warmth that can be created during the winter season. You'll enjoy a luminary-lit evening hike, have fun at activities around a series of campfires, and create light-themed crafts to take home that will brighten your winter nights. Be sure to register for a time slot. Families with younger children should register for the earlier time slots. You'll meet at Fort C.F. Smith Park at 2411 North 24th Street. The cost is $5. Registration is required. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. For more information, call Ken Rosenthal at 703-228-3403. The fun begins on Saturday, December 17th, from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. at Gulf Branch Nature Center, 3608 North Military Road. However, there are other times available as well. 5:50 to 6:50 p.m., 6:10 to 7:10 p.m., 6:30 to 7:30 p.m., 6:50 to 7:50 p.m., 7:10 to 8:10 p.m., and 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Now it's time for 55 Plus News.
Howdy, and welcome to 55 Plus News. Our first event is another 55 Plus Walk. Stay active with friendly walking companions. You'll explore nearby trails and neighborhoods in a safe, socially distant manner. Destinations may be changed or excursions canceled for inclement weather. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. You'll need to get the exact meetup location, but it'll be in the Bluemont W&OD neighborhood. The activity number is 912-106-02, and that's on Wednesday, December 14th from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. You gotta be 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. Our next event is called Movies at the Mill. It's a chance to come on out to Arlington Mill and enjoy your favorite movies on their big screen. You can enjoy new titles and old classics. Then, after the movie, you can stay behind to discuss your favorite scenes and performances. December's movie is Miracle on 34th Street. It's the good old 1947, featuring a very young Natalie Wood, all in glorious black and white. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. The activity number is 912-804-06, and that's on Thursday, December 15th from 1 o'clock to 3:30 p.m. at Arlington Mill Community Center, 909 South Dinwiddie Street. You gotta be 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. Our next event is all about services for the blind and vision impaired. Join Alexander Castillo from the Virginia Department for the Blind and Vision Impaired to learn about low vision and blindness, the services provided by the Department for the Blind and Vision Impaired, and other tips to help with vision loss. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. The activity number is 912-500-06, and that's on Wednesday, December 14th from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. You gotta be 55 and up. 55 plus membership is required, and this is a virtual event. Our next event is called Holiday Decorating with a Purpose. Recent First Ladies have used their White House Christmas decorations to showcase their new roles as public stewards of various causes. Lisa Mead, National Park Ranger with the First Ladies National Historic Site, will discuss how these First Ladies have used the publicity of the White House Christmas tradition to promote their favorite projects. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. The activity number is 912-400-06, and that's on Thursday, December 15th from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. You gotta be 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. This is another virtual event. Finally, how to adopt or foster a new pet. Do you love furry friends? Here's a chance to discuss opportunities for volunteering and how to adopt or foster a new pet this holiday season with a representative from the Animal Welfare League of Arlington. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. The activity number is 912-400-04, and that's on Friday, December 16th from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock a.m. at Lubber Run Community Center, 300 North Park Drive. You gotta be 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. Anyway, that's all I got for 55 plus news.
And now some commentary. Our friends at Arl Now reported that on Saturday, December 3rd, Arlington County's top prosecutor, its circuit court clerk, and some attorneys planned a clinic designed to help some people wanting their criminal record to be expunged for free. The clinic was to take place at Arlington Presbyterian Church. It was intended to provide attendees with everything they would need to request that arrests which did not result in convictions be removed from their record. According to Commonwealth's attorney Parisa Degani-Tafti, Prince William County has already offered a similar service. Ms. Degani-Tafti went on to clarify the concept behind the event, and we quote, "Even if you've been arrested and not convicted, that arrest can follow you every time you apply for a job, school, or an apartment. That harms people, their families, and the community. This clinic is one way we can mitigate that harm and give people a chance to live productive lives." Unquote. Courts do not identify who and who is not eligible to have their record expunged, so the aim of the clinic is to let people know what is and is not available. Attorneys were to provide pro bono assistance, and clinic sponsors were to cover the $86 filing fee on a first-come, first-served basis. Attendees were instructed to bring with them the arrest warrant or final letter of disposition for each charge they wanted to be expunged. Clinic sponsors included the Arlington branch of the NAACP, the Arlington Coalition of Black Clergy and Black Parents of Arlington, as well as local nonprofits Bridges to Independence, Offender Aid and Restoration, Arlington Thrive, Arlington for Justice, and the D.C.-based Mid-Atlantic Innocence Project, where Degani-Tafti once served as legal director. OAR Associate Deputy Director Mustafa Sabur said in a statement that the clinic is an important first step in helping people overcome unjust barriers. Here at Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News, we believe that in a time where there is a lot of outcry for accountability, some clarification seems to be in order. The stated goal is not to remove the history of someone's criminal act. It is to remove barriers for those people who were later determined to be innocent of criminal activity, but who had been accused or arrested for reasons like simply being in the wrong place at the wrong time. While there are also numerous instances of arrests based on racial, political, and cultural bias, we believe that there is a more fundamental problem to consider within the language of law. On the one hand is the doctrine of the presumption of innocence until guilt has been proven. On the other hand, when guilt has not been proven, the verdict is expressed as merely not guilty rather than innocent. This distinction, in the minds of some, is like saying that the number 0 is merely not 13, when 0 is required elsewhere. This lack of linguistic distinction can lead to disqualifications based merely on arrest or accusation, even after the absence of guilt has been determined. Until a more comprehensive remedy can be established, this clinic does seem to be at least a step in the right direction.
And that concludes our program for this week. We will be back next week with more news from Arlington. Meanwhile, be careful, be safe, and be well.